Grade 9s, this is lesson 2 of credit transactions, topic 7. We are continuing after the key concepts. So what does buying on credit mean? Credit means an arrangement that you as a customer make with a business to pay later for something you buy. So grade 9s, tell me, how many times have you guys been at school and been really hungry or really thirsty or really wanting a chocolate from the tuck shop, but you didn't have the actual money? So if we had to make an arrangement with the tuck shop to buy on credit, that means that you as the customer would go to the business, the tuck shop, and make an arrangement with them to buy goods on credit. But remember, in accounting, we always look at accounting from a business's point of view. So if a customer is buying on credit, that means that the business has made a credit sale. So in future, when we are talking about credit sales, that means that the business has allowed the customer to take the goods and pay for them at a later stage. So please make sure that you are understanding what the term credit sales means. Right, now we are going to look at credit sales, a customer buying on credit, and what positives and negatives this has to a business. So these are the advantages and disadvantages from the business's point of view. So the positives for a business doing credit sales is that the business can charge more for the goods sold on credit. So in other words, because they have to wait for payment from the customer, they can add interest. So think about this. The business has sold that trading stock, but they did not receive any income, which means that they cannot replenish the stock that they have just sold. So that is why they can add interest, because they have to wait for those payments. When businesses grant credit, it increases sales. So what does that mean? That means that if you think about it, people don't always have cash readily available to purchase things from a business. So when a business allows credit sales, that means that they are allowing or giving people that option of getting the goods now and paying for them at a later stage, which in turn increases the business's sales. Because if they did not have credit sales available, that means that customers would not be able to apply for credit and purchase those goods. Therefore, the business would not have made those sales. Businesses gain more clients because not everyone has cash readily available. So you can apply to buy on credit, and that means that businesses therefore then have more people that they are able to sell to. However, there are some disadvantages to credit sales to a business also. Because businesses are allowing customers to take their trading stock without receiving the money, the business needs to ensure that it has capital in order for its business to operate on a day-to-day functioning. All right, so things to pay their current expenditures, water and lights, electricity, to buy new stock. So the business needs money to run until payment from those debtors has been received for the goods. Admin costs are involved in screening debtors. So in other words, there are costs involved in hiring someone to do a background check or a credit reference check on the customers to see if they are creditworthy, which means that you have to pay a salary. Okay, someone has to do the debtors' journals to make sure that accounts are being sent to debtors and that their records are being kept accurately. And then lastly, there is a risk of bad debts. Bad debts meaning that your debtors, the people who owe you that money, do not pay you. So something happens and you do not receive that money from the customer. maybe they move away or they come into financial trouble and they do not settle that debt with you. Credit sales. So this is now a customer buying on credit, and we are now looking at the advantages and disadvantages for the actual customer. So what are the advantages for us as consumers being allowed or being able to buy goods on credit? So if you think about it, we only have a certain amount of disposable income that we get every month. Once that money is finished and something happens and you do not have access to credit, you will not be able to purchase those goods. So customers can buy more expensive goods immediately instead of waiting to save up. So you can have access to something right now instead of waiting 3 or 4 months to save up to accumulate that money to buy an expensive product. So for example, let's say you want to finance a car. So this is just an example. So you go to the bank and you apply for finance, and the bank will then loan you that money. Pay, for example, let's say you're gonna buy the car. The bank will loan you that money, pay the dealership, and then you pay the bank back. Okay, so you can get that car immediately and then pay the bank back a monthly fee. If a customer pays timeously, they will have a good credit record and be deemed credit worthy. So if you are a good payer and you pay on time and you pay the correct amount every month, you are going to have a good credit record, which means that credit will be easier or easily accessible to you. So the disadvantages to the customer is that a credit facility often encourages people to spend money they don't have. So sometimes in order to get credit, you have to have debt. So for example, if you want to buy a house, the businesses want to see that you are constantly paying something every month and that you have a good credit record, whether it be a clothing account, Mr. Price, Truworths, Edgar's, whatever it may be. They want to see that every month you are making payments on the things that you get on credit. So it sometimes encourages you to spend money that you don't necessarily have. Customers end up paying more for goods because obviously credit is charged every month. So over the long term, you end up paying more than if you have bought that product for cash.